Mount Everest we see right now is there. It's easy to climb. The reason why it's easy to climb is because we can all see it. It's an important thing I'm going to say during this live right now. I think people strongly underestimate the power of routines. If you have a solid routine which gets you where you want to be and where you need to be as well, there's nothing that can stop you from getting what you want. It doesn't matter what they're going through, who they are, or what's happening in their past, or what they want to achieve. Once you change what's up here, everything else around you will change.
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just having my pre-workout coffee.
You've got pre-workout there?
Yeah, it's my coffee. My coffee is my pre-workout. I don't take any pre-workout and that stuff. It's just have a cup of coffee. I'm good to go, really. Because you have that pre-workout crash when you take a pre-workout. Yeah. I always get that, so this is why I just have coffee instead.
That's a good way, good solution that you've got there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's an excuse to get my coffee for the day too.
It's crazy to see you now, like, just in your t-shirt looking all jacked up, because I just remember you on your videos before, like
literally just before this I just did a lot of push-ups, just did a lot of curls just to get on here. That's definitely what I did.
Wow.
I'm joking, I know. I'm heading to the gym afterwards, so yeah, to be fair, I mean, speaking of that, to be fair, this time last year I was 125 pounds. I was a skinny kid. I just saw a picture of myself. You go on your photos and it comes up with the memories of the photos you took.
Mm-hmm.
The photo I took just before the lockdown we had, and I was a very skinny 125 pound man, and fast forward to now I'm 35 pounds heavier, good old 160. So I was like, fuck you know.
That's some significant improvement there.
I appreciate it. It's the journey. It's all a journey, but I enjoy it. I enjoy the journey. I absolutely love it.
You can tell. But before I start asking you questions, because this is the thing with my conversations, we can just get straight into it.
Yeah.
But I like some of my followers, they might not necessarily know who you are. So let's do an introduction. Give yourself a little bit of a background. From what I know of you, Yousef, obviously you've been to university. You went down the traditional route, and you decided that kind of wasn't for you or anything like that. So you went on a bit of a personal development journey, like myself a little bit, like some of the people we know.
100%,
and now you're just smiling because of it. So tell us a little bit about how you got started, man. What was the inspiration? What was the motivation?
More than happy to, bro. More than happy to. So I started. So just before I went to university, throughout my teenage years, I had aspirations of becoming a professional fighter. I wanted to be a professional boxer. So I started boxing when I was 10 because I was getting beaten up all the time, and obviously you turn to self-defense. Then when I was 13, I moved to England because I was living in the Netherlands at that time. I then moved to England, and then I moved to the Boxing Nation. So when it was then, I started to take it seriously. I started competing in the amateurs. I started winning fights. I started getting better and better. That was almost sort of where the personal development journey started, because that was where I really started to push myself on a level. And when I was 16, I was able to turn professional in the UK. I had a pre-professional contract. So once I turned 18, I can start fighting as a professional. So that was when I was like, okay, get that athlete's mindset in, get that winner's mindset. We're going to train as hard as we can constantly. Ended up not working out, which is perfectly fine. That's what happens. At the time, I was gutted. And I was absolutely gutted, and that was when I started to go to university. But since I lost my boxing career and I concentrated on that constantly, I almost felt it was like, well, what do I do now? Where do I go? I don't know what to do, because all I was doing was fighting, and now I'm doing something different. So my mind spiraled out of control completely, where I just turned to crime, I turned to alcohol, turned to drugs, all that stuff. Got addicted to ecstasy. I was just, the phrase going off the rails. That was completely what I did for a year, bro. It was mad. And I went into rehab age 19. I got out just after I turned 20. This was 2017. Since then, I went back to uni, and that was when I really started to change my mindset and actually apply myself into personal development and training. And I pushed myself through that. And throughout my time at university, I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I just don't see me taking orders and instructions from someone who wouldn't really give two shits about me if I was young. You know what I mean? So that was when I really started to look online and these things like that. And then we came across our incredible opportunity, and here I am now. And that's why throughout my personal development journey, everything I've learned, I now want to share that to others around the world. And here I am now. So this is it.
That's wicked, man. And I'll tell you what, straight away, you got me smiling because obviously I've seen some of your content, but I can relate to that so much more now because, you know, you said that you obviously did boxing. I did quite a bit of boxing too.
Oh, did
I
you?
never did quite to that level. The sport that I took the most serious was actually tennis.
Oh, really?
And
Good sport.
yeah. That was when I was competing in loads. And kind of like yourself, I was thinking to myself, this is the only future I see where I give it 100%. So you were doing things that other people wouldn't.
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily be focusing so much on like education at school. It would just literally be, I need to win my tournaments. I need to win my matches.
Yeah.
I'm going pro. Like that. That's all I was thinking.
100%.
And I ended up getting like a scholarship to play in America as well, but I didn't end up going. So yeah, when that happened, like I didn't know what to do. So similar to yourself, I kind of went off the rails in lots of different areas.
It's so funny how our journeys are very similar, bro.
Yeah,
so
like
funny.
it's crazy. I didn't realize that we were that similar. But yeah, it's so good to hear. But what would you say was the biggest challenge? You know, going through that journey, not just as you were a boxer, but also when you went through that personal development journey, switching from like what you thought you were going to do to then what you're doing now as well.
100%, mate. I get this question a lot, and I say the same answer every single time. It's the battle up here. The battle against your own mind. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You can be great at anything else. You can do anything else you'd like. It's up here where the biggest battle lies. Even when you're training, when you're in the gym, or when you're playing tennis, or when you're in a ring, it's all up here. You overcome you cannot win a war in this world. You can't win the war against your own mind. So it was always my mind. I have a fucked up mind, all right? I'm happy to admit that. I have a fucked up mind, but here's the thing: I want to challenge myself every single time. I think that's probably the reason why I have a fucked up mind. I don't settle for less. So I know you're the same. You don't settle for less. You always want to strive for more. So once you win your personal battles, like I always think of my personal battles as internal Everest, like internal Mount Everest. Mount Everest we see right now is there. It's easy to climb. The reason why it's easy to climb is because we can all see it. No one can see your internal Everest except yourself. This is why this is the hardest part of life, overcoming your internal Everest. So throughout whatever I was doing, whether it was boxing, getting out of rehab, finishing my degree, my personal development journey, whatever it is, it's the battle up here. That's definitely the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, you put it so beautifully as well, like with that analogy that, you know, you've got to kind of climb the internal Everest. Never heard anybody say like that, but it's so true. At the end of the day, like people think that it's going to be something that's quite easy to do, but really you made it as if it's a very difficult challenge. Like when you think of Everest is the most tough mountain to climb in the entire world.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna overcome that in your mind, imagine what you could do afterwards. Once you've climbed Everest, it's like, oh, I can do anything. I can just
exactly, yeah. You've learned you can do anything. Like I personally think that once you've learned how to do one difficult thing, you can learn how to do anything, because now you understand the concept of learning, and you're understanding the law of adaptations, and you can apply that mindset to anything you like. That's why I sort of keep in the mindset, the personal development and mindset you develop in the gym. I then teach people to apply that outside of the gym as well, within their own life and their own mind as well. So you apply the winner's mindset to anything, you'll win in life. And I just want to say hi to Matt Galloway, hi to Hugh, and hi to Connor. How you doing, bro? Saying hi to people.
Yeah, we've got quite a few people watching right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a couple of mates are on here, so saying hi to them.
Oh, nice.
Connor's in that room over there. He's my housemate, my best friend. You all right, Connor? You all right?
Yeah, I'd be having words with him if he wasn't watching right now. But
I'm kidding you. I'm joking. I won't.
But I was gonna say,
yeah, it's all good.
anyone who is watching, what we'll do at the end of the live as well, because it'll probably go for about an hour, something like that. But at the end of the live, if you've got any questions that you want to ask Yousef right now, or you have any questions coming up, just write them into the chat and we'll deal with them at the end, and we'll go through them. But yeah, going back to kind of what you were talking about then, you were talking a lot about how when you learn how to learn, then it doesn't matter what you choose in terms of either careers, opportunity. You can go into anything that you like, because you know that there's going to be things to learn, and you just know that you're going to be able to then reach those next levels, those next stages of growth. So talk a little bit about how you've kind of changed your way of learning from what it was previously to what maybe you've been taught to then now, how you've got to the level in which you're at, where it's like, yeah, I know how to learn in a more efficient way. How has it changed now?
I think, well, I think the way I was learning when I was training as a fighter wasn't that much different compared to as it is now, because the fact that I've learned that sort of mindset at a young age is a complete blessing to me. The only way I say it's different is that I'm applying it to things that I know is best for me and best for my future. I mean, looking back at my fighting career, it was great, it was fantastic, and I learned a lot. But I think nowadays, if I look back at it, I'm like, don't think it was probably the best option for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can do better things, which didn't require me being punched in the head, if you know what I mean. So I think mindset-wise, it's kind of the same. But I think I always wanted to grow. If your mindset has stayed the same for the past 5 years, then you've wasted that 5 years. If you look at life the same way as you did the past 5 years, that's 5 years gone. You've completely wasted it. You've got to view it differently every single year. Like this time last year, I view life completely differently, and I tried to translate that throughout my content. So I think when I went from boxing, then out of rehab to uni, my mindset sort of changed in the negative way, because that was kind of like what I was forced to do. I was forced to go back to university and sort of be that sort of employee sort of guy that they're trained to be, if you know what I mean. But I rode through it, but I always stuck true to my guns. I always stuck true to who I was internally, and that was an evolving man. Like, evolution exists for a reason. We don't evolve for no reason. There's a reason we're here and evolving constantly. There's a reason everything grows. It doesn't just happen like that and it's like, okay, cool. It doesn't happen like that. We evolve for a reason. So I always stuck true to that, and I always had that in my mind subconsciously in the back, even though I was pursuing my degree. And I'm glad I went to university, because it allowed me, finishing my degree and getting a good grade in it, allowed me to realize that even if I don't like something, if I push through it, I can achieve anything, which is exactly what happened. So I think it allowed me to realize that. So I think that was also a bit of an evolution there. If you can apply yourself to something, even if you don't like, imagine what you can do if you absolutely love something. You never know what can happen, bro. It's insane. And that's why I believe everything happens for a reason. So to answer your question, I think my mindset has definitely changed in different segments of my life. So when I was a fighter, it was always about the athlete's mindset. It was always about growth, getting better every single day. Then I went to uni, it was definitely fixed. And then when I left uni, that was when I was like, all right, let's evolve, let's grow every single day.
I love that. And you can just see in terms of the way that you think, your perspective as well, it's definitely changed over the years so much in a good way. And I love what you said about the fact that you look at the university now, like some people will look into their past and the things that they regret, they don't like to kind of talk about, deal with, or even look at. But with you, it's like, no, I didn't maybe do the best thing going to university, because that's not what I loved, but it still was a great thing, because now I realize how much I can succeed in something which I love, which I'm passionate about, which gets me fired up. And that's just such a great way.
It's crazy, bro. I love it. I think when you love what you do, it's never like work. Honestly, it's absolutely the best. So I completely agree with you there.
And with what you're doing right now, obviously we're doing very similar things. What is it that you love the most about what you do?
Seeing the people you help grow. Honestly, there's nothing better than that, because that's when you know the translation of your growth is being applied to someone else. Like my two housemates are my two best mates, Connor and John. Connor's watching. Both of them have gone through a lot of growth since we've come out of university. Like I'll take Connor for example. Connor was, when we moved in together about 6 months ago, he was a heavy 225 pounds. It was a big boy. He's now lost 30 pounds since then. Changed his mindset on everything, and now he's smashing his goals, smashing his ambitions. Same as Sean as well, my best mate. He's down 25 pounds, and he's an actor. He's a professional actor. So he's really applying himself to his goals as well. So pretty much we've done it together. We've grown together, to be fair. I don't like to say it's just me. It's all of us. We all have an impact on each other. So we can all, Connor said you're goddamn right. Nice one, Connor. Oh God, he is watching. I love it. But yeah, so seeing the impact of seeing the growth and the people you're impacting makes everything worthwhile. It makes the struggle worthwhile. And here's the thing: you can't succeed without struggle. There's no success. You know this better than anyone. There's no successful person out there that hasn't struggled to get to where they want to be. That's just plain and simple facts. Like grass is green, water is wet. That's facts. Every successful person has gone through struggle. That's just plain facts. So when you see the hard work of someone else that they're applying because of your coaching and your mentorship, seeing that growth that they go through, best feeling in the world. It really is.
Yeah. And what's kind of weird is that obviously we both come from that sports background where we're kind of like the main person who's being worked on.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you've got a coach in boxing, then the coach is the person that's going to be experiencing that joy and that kind of fulfillment from training you.
Yeah.
But for us to make the switch to then becoming kind of like the coach or the one that's witnessing the growth of other people by becoming a leader, stepping into your potential in that way and into your purpose, it's kind of a weird transition, but it just feels like the right next step as well.
Yeah. It feels different, but it's a good type of different. Obviously, you have to get out of your comfort zone sometime. Like I started coaching in boxing when I was just after my first year at uni, and I remember my old box coach said, "Do you want to help out with the coaching?" And at first I said no. I didn't really want to do it because I didn't want anything to do with boxing. But I was thinking about the people that I really could impact. So after a good amount of thinking, I took onto it. And I don't regret it. It's a great feeling. I think that's the reason why I put a lot of content and I coach people online too, because of that, applying the sort of methods and the styles and techniques that you learn from being a coach in boxing, applying that to everything else you do in personal development and coaching and mindset and fitness. It's all meant to be. It really is.
Yeah, and again, I can relate to that too much because before I started doing like the online coaching thing, I was doing a lot of tennis coaching. I was doing like training some of my friends there.
Similar, bro. We're very similar. I love that. So weird. I love that.
Right? We've not planned this conversation.
Yeah,
we've not. Literally, I've never spoken to Yousef before, other than through messages.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're on that same kind of vibe as somebody else, then you end up connecting like naturally. So this is kind of what you're witnessing right now, and
yeah,
I never expected to see this many similarities, but yeah, this is what happened.
But when you do, it's great. It really is the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of like with your coaching style, like I kind of know what kind of coach I am. I'm more of I'm going to be really honest with you about where you are now, so that it helps people to then go to wherever they want to go, because some coaches they're more like praising cheerleaders, that kind of thing. But what would you say your style of coaching is? I'm interested to know.
If you asked me this about a couple of years ago, I would probably say I was a bit I would say I was probably tough but fair, but that was in a sense of combat sports. That was the only thing I was doing at the time in terms of coaching. So I think then it's definitely evolved. Like I'm more of a switch now. Like I've coached people where I have to like sort of be the guy that, you know, you have a coach that puts their arm around the shoulder. It's going to be okay. Just need to do this. You need to change that, and you're going to be all right. And then there's people I've coached where I have to be a bit more on them when I'm like, no, mate, go again, do this. Don't worry about that. Just go again. So I think since then, my coaching has definitely evolved. I'm a switch. I'm a bit of a switch where it's all about, my coaching style is all about the person I'm coaching, because everyone's different. So you have to really coach them differently. It's about man management. I'm not sure you've heard that term in sports.
Man management.
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, it's about managing the individual. Like, I'm not going to be able to coach everyone. I know that. Let's face it. We can't coach everyone. Not everyone's coachable. We understand that. We have to accept that. But what we can do is understand the individual as best we can to ensure they can allow progression to come passively. And I wouldn't say effortlessly, because it always requires effort, but it kind of feels like that it's not requiring too much effort, but in reality it is. So I think I'm a bit of a switch to answer your question. So I'm a mixture, but I think back then I was tough. I was a bit of a tough coach.
Yeah. A bit of a Coach Carter kind of coach, but like now you.
Great movie. Love
Now
that
you.
movie.
It's a great movie, isn't it? But now you've kind of developed to be able to almost like adapt to every single person, to tailor to their needs. I love that, because sometimes I'm more rigid in how I am, so it obviously limits me to the people that I can coach. But then when it works out really well, because
it works out perfectly. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's the best.
And then when it's like you as a coach having to then coach somebody who's not really aligned with you, then you coach differently with each different person. It's quite interesting.
It is, yeah.
To see. But
say hi to Becky as well.
Who's Becky's on? Yeah.
I want to say hi to Becky. How you doing, Becky? Good to see you.
She's got
everything. She's seen the development of everything, so it's good seeing you here.
Good. How long have we been on, by the way?
I'm not sure, to be fair. Maybe about half an hour, because we started a bit late. But
okay.
It doesn't feel like that, to be fair.
No, it's gone pretty quick, isn't it? I think.
I love this, bro. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's really good to do. It's really fun. I've never done this before on my Instagram.
I've done it quite a few times, but not in a long time. I think I don't need to do this more.
It's not going to be the last time. That's one thing I can say there, John.
That's what I like to
do. I'd like to just steer the conversation to a little bit of a different direction now. Okay.
Yeah, good.
Actually, we've been talking a little bit about the gym, personal development, all of this, but one thing that we haven't necessarily touched on too much is kind of like your entrepreneurial journey, right? Like in terms of how you've changed not just your mindset, but also your habits, the things that you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, tell a little about what your day-to-day life looks like now that you're more of an entrepreneur rather than just somebody who is like either at university or just simply in a job and not having that entrepreneurial vision or anything like that. What's changed? What's happening in your day right now?
I think this is probably going to be the most important thing I'm going to say during this live right now. I think people strongly underestimate the power of routines. If you have a solid routine which gets you where you want to be and where you need to be as well, there's nothing that can stop you from getting what you want. My routine is, I try to keep it simple. I don't want too many distractions in my life, so I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything that drains me mentally. It drains my energy. Even the people, even a lot of people as well. My best mates will know very, very, very well. I've cut out a lot of people who just drain me as well. I have this sort of rule now, which I applied around this time, about 6 months ago. I have a rule with people is that you have up to 60 seconds for your conversation to captivate me, and if it's not, I'm not giving you my energy, because your energy is a currency. And if I find someone's conversation is draining me, especially now when I'm very focused on what I'm doing, sorry, I'm out. I need to focus. My energy needs to be focused on something that I know will benefit me and I know will benefit the people around me. I've got a small, close circle of close friends, of my best mates, and I want to keep it small and keep it tight and close grip because I don't want any drama in my life. So I've eliminated people that bring drama in my life. Oh, I want coffee. I eliminate people that bring drama into my life and bring a lot of negative energy. I've completely eliminated that. I don't watch TV. I don't watch like obviously I still learn on things on YouTube, but the people who I watch are different now compared to about a few years ago. I used to go on YouTube and watch like stupid shit when I was at university, so I don't do that stuff anymore. I was meditating quite a bit. I haven't done it in a while. I think one thing I need to do is get my meditation back on track, because it is crazy. It really is so important. In terms of my training, I go to the gym 4 days a week, weight training, and do a bit of cardio. I do a bit of, I like to do a bit of walking for cardio, so I average about 20,000 steps every day. I just enjoy that well. And so in terms of my mind, my reading, I'm constantly reading every single day. I try to read 10 to 15 pages every day, as we all do, as anyone like us would usually do most of the time. But that's pretty much it, really. I'm just trying to eliminate things. Last year was pretty much basically eliminate things that don't benefit, and realizing that don't benefit me, and just get rid of them. Stay within the people that not only benefit you, but will tell you how it is as well. If you surround yourself with yes men, then you're really not going to get anywhere. You're gonna believe your own hype as well, and your ego is gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where you don't accept growth. One of the best advice I've ever received from my boxing coach was kill your ego, because ego prevents growth. So I always try to, every time I'm in a room with someone, I always try to feel like I'm the dumbest person there. The reason why is because it'll be much easier for me to learn new things about a certain individual. Even if they don't vibe with you, you learn not to be with those people. So you're learning every single day. So my habits are completely changed since the start of last year, and I do have times where I almost I do have times where sometimes I slack off, but that's normal. I'm a human being. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because I'm not. No one's perfect. Everyone's going to slack off from time to time. It doesn't matter who you are. Even us, guys like us. Even when we're training in tennis and boxing, when we're competitive athletes, we're going to slack off from time to time. That's just who we are. It's human nature to take a step back sometimes and be human, as we say. So I'm moving it here. But in terms of answering your question, my habits are pretty much it's pretty much my health as well. Getting good enough sleep, training constantly, training my mind, meditation, all that good stuff, really. Reading, all that good stuff. I can go on for hours about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that answer there. One thing that stuck out for me the most was that, you know, when it came to your particular personal development journey, you kind of assigned it to two different parts. One of them being the first part, which was an elimination of things in your life which weren't serving you, with whether it was like habits, whether it was people, whether it was things you were doing. Like you literally got rid of all of that first, and I think that's key for anyone who wants to go on any kind of growth journey, personal development journey. The first thing you got to do is remove a lot of the things. And the analogy that I'm thinking about that's coming to my mind is that, like, if you wanted to fill a glass cup with some water or something like this and be able to drink it, but at first there was just a load of shit in there.
Yeah.
And for a better term, like at first all you had was like a load of shit. You wouldn't just put water in and drink some of the shit with the water.
Yeah, no.
You would get shit, wouldn't you? And then you'd fill up with pure water. So that's beautiful the way that you say it, in that at first it was a case of elimination, get rid of people, and now not only that, but you've got some sort of protection against other people coming into your life with that 60-second thing that you're doing, where that's such a great to have. 60 seconds. I mean, some people say that we make first impressions within like the first couple of seconds, but you're giving people 60 seconds, which is ample time to then see if they're on your kind of frequency, on your energy levels, where you have the
same vibe as us.
You can tell straight away, can't you? Like, it doesn't take long, does it? But
it does, yeah. You start to understand people a lot more too. You see a lot more. You see a wide variety of people, a wide range of people, and you just go like, yeah, but this geezer, you can stay away. You know what I mean?
It's almost like I can just see it sometimes without even them coming up to me and opening their mouth. I've got
Yeah.
that good at it now. But like in terms of what you've said, I do love everything that you've shared there.
Appreciate
And
that.
I had something on my mind. It's
As if
gone
you're
out.
gone blank a bit.
It's gone a little bit blank. What I'm gonna do, have a quick look at who's watching right now and see like if it comes back. I should do in a sec.
Oh, Becky says, "Hey, how you doing, Becky? You all right?"
I don't even know how you can tell
Tell what?
who's watching live.
It usually comes up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see it now.
If you scroll up, then you should be all right.
But yeah, I just want to remind
people on.
if you have any questions, pop them down over here because we've probably got Yousef for another 15 or 20 minutes before he's got to go and do a hardcore workout again in the gym. What are you going to be working out in the gym today, by the way? What's your kind of training style?
So right now I'm doing a chest. So today's a chest, back, and biceps workout. So in terms of how I started training, I used to start training 3 days a week, just focusing on strength training, just push and pull. I didn't do push-pull legs because I included my legs training with my pull training as well. So that was when I was a very skinny kid. So I realized that I had to have more rest and hit more PRs. So back then I was doing something called reverse pyramid training. I'm not sure you've heard that.
Yeah.
So that's when you do your heaviest set first, then go lighter, more reps, and lighter, more reps. That's what I do. Then nowadays I started to plateau a bit more in that because I've been doing it too much. So I'm now training 4 days a week and splitting it out a bit more. Today I'm doing chest, back, and biceps, and I'm just ready for it. So I can't wait. Are you training today?
No, well, I'll be playing a little bit of badminton today, which sounds like it's not going to be that tough. It's the most exhausting sport that I've played. Honestly, I sweat so much from doing it. But
bro, I love badminton. It's a great sport. I think anyone can do it too. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, exactly. You can be short, tall. It doesn't really matter. But in terms of your training, back, biceps, and chest all in one day, do you not find that that's like so exhausting? Or
not really. No, I don't. I mean, because I don't train like 5 or 6 days a week. I train 4 days a week. So I have 2 sets of workouts. I have a shoulders, legs, and triceps, and a chest, back, and biceps. And I have 2 different variations of it, which I do throughout the whole week. So, for example, on my first chest, back, and biceps workout, I focus a bit more on chest. Then on the second one of the week, I'll focus a bit more on back. And same with shoulders, legs, and triceps. One, I'll focus more on shoulders. The other, I'll focus more on legs. So you kind of vary it. And another thing I do as well is on those different training days, I have different rep ranges. There's one on my, let's say for example, on one chest, back, and bicep day, I focus more on the 4 to 6 rep range. Then the next one, I go for about the 10 to 12 or 8 to 12. They always got to change it up a bit more, get your body training, changing your mind too. So it's all a mindset journey. I remember saying as well, I put out a reel around this time last month, and I captioned it, the physical transformation is the byproduct of the mental transformation. You can't have one and not have the other. You need to have both. But people don't realize that the mental transformation is the biggest thing that you get from training. It's absolutely insane. To lose 20 or 30 pounds, whatever it is, you have to become a different person. You can't be the same person you are when you were 30 pounds heavier. It just doesn't happen. You have to evolve, as I said earlier, you have to evolve. Otherwise, what are you doing? What are you doing?
That's what they say about personal development, that like whenever you're goal setting and you're trying to get to some sort of end goal somewhere else, it's not the fact that you have the outcome, which is the best part of it. Like, let's say, for example, you're starting a business. It's not the fact that you're going to be earning a lot of money, that you're going to be having lots of different nice things in your life that you get to spend money on. Like, that's all good, that's great. But the number one thing, and I think it was Jim Rohn that said this the best, that is the highest benefit of your personal development journey is the identity that you end up embodying when you actually get to that place.
A completely different person. I think, to be fair also as well, I think that's one thing that puts people off from either personal development or business or fitness or anything like that. They don't realize their focus is primarily too much on the materialistic side of it, what they get from it in terms of money or more fame, more cars, more houses, all that stuff. they're sort of shying away from the development inside here. And that's what really shies away a lot of people from anything, to be fair. That's what puts people off from what they want to do. That's why a lot of people give up most of the time. What separates the best from the rest is how much personal development they go through. And it's something we need to educate people more on, because once they have that flick of the switch, that's more about the mental transformation, they can achieve anything they want. It doesn't matter what they're going through, who they are, or what's happened in their past, or what they want to achieve. Once you change what's up here, everything else around you will change.
Yeah, your inner state is a reflection of your outer world as well, isn't it?
100%. But you couldn't have said it any better.
I've actually remembered some of the things that I was going to ask you when I forgot. You see, I knew it'd come. It's like 10 minutes.
It's fine. It's fine. I think as we keep on talking, they'll definitely come.
Yeah, it always comes back to me. But I'm glad it's back to me within the live. What I was going to ask is because it was following on from the question of like what are you doing on a day-to-day basis, so that people kind of know what it takes to get to your level, or like to go on this particular journey. Like you mentioned a few things. You mentioned that you were doing meditation, you were reading, you were also going to the gym. Like, out of the things that you're doing there, like let's stay on like the reading, for example. What kind of books have you been reading recently, and what are you into right now?
So I literally just wrapped up Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty, which honest to God is one of the best books I've ever read. It's absolutely incredible. It always focuses on the mind. It literally, it differentiates what the base of the book is. Don't go too much away if you haven't read it. Don't get too much away if people haven't read it. But it focuses on two sets of mindsets: the monkey mind and the monk mind. I'll just say that because I don't want to give too much away. I'll let people read it to let them know what they can see. So I gave it to my mum. My mum wants to read it too after I said how great it was. So okay, that's fine. And right now I'm reading. Where's my book? Let's get my book. Hang on a sec.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Got it. My mum bought me this book around a month ago. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's awesome. An old school book about leadership, about being a true leader and being authentic in the message that you portray. I've only read about 30 pages of it. I'm reading for about a couple of days, but absolutely incredible book so far. It's very old school as well. It was written in I think the 1940s. It was written ages ago, so it's a bit of an old school one. So I'm excited. Sorry?
A classic.
Yeah, definitely a classic. Yeah, it teaches you more about how to be the true leader that you want to be, and how to lead people that resonate with you. There was a really good quote in this, which I actually really, really liked, and it goes like this: if you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. And what that basically means is, if you want to actually get people following you and spreading your message as well, you've got to encourage them. You can't really criticize them too much, because when everyone goes through a personal development journey, whatever it is, they're going to make more mistakes than they're going to succeed. That's just life. And then when people have that acceptance of they're going to make more mistakes, then the journey will be easier for them. And it kind of boils down to as well to how I coach people as well, being that sort of guy that puts their arm around the shoulder and say, no, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're doing well. It's all part of the journey. It kind of ties into that as well. I kind of changed. It helps me change how I help people and coach people too. Like, it's very easy to criticize. It's very easy to be negative. It's very easy to spot the bad things about people. But once you realize why they're like that and what they've gone through to become like that, and how you could help them to get to the other side and where they want to be, that all comes with, first of all, accepting where they are, 2, how you can help them, and 3, encouraging them along the way. And that's something that people don't really take into account as much, because it's not that easy to be positive, especially these times. Not very easy to be positive. So this book is very good on true leadership. So it's a fantastic book. So
yeah, a couple of things to say about that, but just before it goes out of my mind, again, I can relate so much to you when you say that you've read a book, the Jay Shetty book, and then you passed it on to your mum. Yeah. Because literally, I've read quite a few books, but my bookshelf is almost empty because whenever I'm thinking, oh man, this person would love to read this book, so I just literally send it to them, give it as a gift, and then never get it back most of the time.
Yeah, you don't get it back. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? Hopefully they read it.
Hopefully they get through it.
Usually about 50-60% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good number.
I mean, once you give them the book, it's up to them.
Yeah.
You've done what you can.
Yeah. Sometimes you hear back from people like 6 months down the line. Yo, I just started reading your book. It's like, whoa, it's been 6 months. What have you been doing? But it's always in their mind to do it. But going back to what you were saying about the how to win friends and influence people, what you were saying there, Dale Carnegie, that it's so easy to criticize. It's so easy to say to people, this is where you're going wrong. This is like everything you're doing bad. You're terrible. It's so easy to do that because most of the time it's what people are saying to themselves. So then when it comes to them having that conversation with somebody else, it's a reflection of how you talk to yourself as well, isn't it? In terms of coaching styles, like I remember when I was at my previous job, I call it a job, it was more self-employed. I was doing sales. And one thing that they were saying there is I had a mentor and they sat me down for a coffee, asked me a question. They were like, Adam, you're doing great, but how do you want to be coached? And I was like, what do you mean, how do I want to be coached? She said, how do you want to be coached? Like there's a couple of different ways we can do this. Either we can break you or we can build you. So the way that they were saying it is that you can build someone, you can break someone, then you can build them again. So that's like one way to do it. Another way to do it, you can break them, and then break them again.
Okay.
And then the final way to do it is just build.
Yeah.
You just keep. If you keep building somebody, like they'll literally be like so happy, but they won't necessarily be going through much growth. So there's that way.
To believe their own hype.
Yeah. If you completely break somebody, then that's the fastest way they're going to grow. But it's also the most like painful way, that is the one that is not going to work so much. So with boxing, for example, you getting hit in the face so many times is just breaking the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just literally you getting that feedback straight away.
Literally, sends you into shock when you get hit. It's almost like someone. I'll try and describe how the feeling of getting hit in the ring when you're in a fight. It's almost like let's say you're standing right in front of someone and they immediately just click your fingers in front of your face. It's almost like that. It just sends you into shock in a bit because the adrenaline's pumping. So it's almost like that. It's a weird feeling, but you don't really feel it until after maybe a couple of hours after the fight ends. You're like, oh fuck yeah, now I'm in pain.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like this.
Like you go in there and like you go out of the gym, you're perfectly fine. You wake up the next day, you can't move. You literally can't move your arm. It's like, what the fuck happened to my body?
Yeah, you don't leave the bed, bro. You just want to stay in there the whole day. I know, yeah, great.
It was actually Jay Shetty that said in that book that you talked about there. It might not have been, it might be someone else that might be mistaken. But he said that there's only two ways to learn. You can either learn through insights or you can learn through pain.
Yeah.
In terms of like that break method, you just simply be learning through pain, which is one of the best teachers. Because we're so like wanting to move away from pain rather than to pleasure. But it's I remember.
So good.
It's okay. I remember she was asking me, the coach, like, how do you want to be coached? And I was like, yeah, I want to go for the quick one, break. And she's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Everyone says that, but no, you don't. Yeah. So then they put me on the other one. But yeah, like I feel like I've gone through the break through like some important journey, and you've probably gone through that too, which is why you're now at this level. But that's actually what we want to do.
I can't say that with any more confidence. I know I have, because last year I was at my complete lowest. Just saying hi to Sean, my best mate. How you doing? You right? He's in the room right below. Hi, Sean. How you doing, bud? So as I was saying, yeah, I've gone through the worst throughout my years. I know that it can only get better, and it's up to me to make it better as well. And just to go back on what you're saying about pain as well, I've had this conversation with many people too. Yes, we need pain to grow. It's the best teacher in the world, because pain is a form of energy. and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. It's up to us and what we do with our daily habits and what we do up here on how that pain is transferred into our daily life. If we constantly think negative, we're going to be negative. If we transfer that negative into a positive, an example is, let's say, I don't know, let's say you go through a tough breakup, you feel shit about yourself, you start applying this to the gym. That's taking that negative pain into a positive. But it's up to us to actually do that. So yeah, definitely pain is the best teacher in the world, but it's up to us how we utilize that.
Yeah, you can either let it destroy you or define you, isn't it?
That's it, bro. That is it. Just want to say as well, I've seen your pictures as well of you training. You look in great shape, bro. You're in great shape.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen the shirt. I've seen that long sleeve shirt. It's tight on you, bro. Like, loose around the torso, tight around the chest and arms. I've seen on you, mate.
I mean, bro. Like I'm actually a personal trainer as well. So for me, like if I'm ever gonna have a client and I'm gonna be training them, I just can't train somebody that's in better shape than me.
Yeah, so that's your ego, doesn't it? Yeah, I can understand that.
Good. In decent shape myself, but no, I love to train. I train every day, but I do it a bit different to yourself because you do lots of groups of muscles together. I just do one every single day. Like I literally have a day for forearms, for example.
Oh, okay, so you do bro splits.
Yeah. Like extreme version of bro split. Yeah. But
I mean, as long as you enjoy it and you can stick to it, that's the main thing. If you like doing bro splits, do bro splits. If you don't have much time to go to the gym, then do 3 days a week, It's all about how it fits to their lifestyle.
Exactly. What you enjoy, what fits to your lifestyle, what you're seeing results from.
Exactly.
That's what it's about. None of us are going to train the same, really. But
yeah, it's all about what we enjoy.
Yeah, 100%. But let's talk about a little bit about, obviously we talked about this year, some of the changes you've gone through, some of the things that you're doing now. But let's talk a little bit about the future for you. Like what is it that you see for Yousef in the next 12 months, the next couple of years? What's the direction you're going in? Where do you want to be?
That gets me excited, bro. It really does. For the next 12 months, there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to keep on continuing to coach people that are in the same negative situation that I was in when I first started. I want to get them out of that situation and build them up to the best version of themselves. I want to spread my message that I put, the content I put out. I want to spread that message a lot more throughout Instagram. And I want to be a speaker as well. One thing I've realized is I want to be a speaker. I want to speak my message on stage to thousands of people. I think that's one of the best things ever. Like, I know I can do it. I know I can do it because
you've got talent.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that, bro. But I know I can do it because, one, I've done more life-threatening things in front of larger amounts of people. I think the biggest crowd I've fought in front of is about 3,000 people. And I've done other forms of being on stage as well. I've been on stage in theatre. I've done that as well. That was way outside my comfort zone. I pushed myself to do that. So I know I can literally just get on that stage and just speak whatever's going up on here, just speak it out there. It's going to be easy as fuck. Easy. It's just going to be peanuts, mate. Absolute peanuts. So that's another big goal of mine. I want to be a speaker. That's absolutely huge for me. But it's to mainly just continue spreading my message, continuing to help people that were in the same situation that I was in and build them to the best version of themselves. And to continue to grow, continue to evolve, physically, mentally, emotionally. That's my goal.
Awesome. So I have a question for you then.
Yeah,
based on I was actually thinking, like, there's a guy who does a podcast I really like, and every single end of his podcast he asks the same question to his people. I was thinking, what could be a good question to ask people?
Yeah, great.
But with you, like, I was actually thinking to ask this question in general, but it works so well based on what you've just said, and that is that you know how, like, you hear about Jesus Christ, like, having the last sermon, for example, when he's, I think it was him, it might have been somebody else, but before he's died, or like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, any of these great leaders, they've done like a speech at the end of their life, which was the last one that they could leave to the world, and that's pretty much it. After that, they're gone, and then everything that they've given to the world is left there, and name everything, the legacy. So in terms of, like, if you had that opportunity, let's say, for example, you knew that you weren't going to be on this earth for the next whenever it was, whenever that was going to finish, what would be the message that you would give out on your last speech that you would ever do? What would it be?
You know what? I get this. I've had this question quite a few times, and I reply with just 2 words:
Okay.
be yourself. That's it. Be yourself. We're on this earth for a reason. We only get one life. No one else should actually force you or influence your decisions. That should be coming from here. So whatever it is you like, whatever it is you want to do, we weren't here to just exist, to be mediocre and be apathetic in life. We're here to evolve. We're not here to survive. We're here to live. And the only way to do that is if you stick to your true guns. And that starts by being yourself. So that's what I'd say. Be yourself.
I love that. I love that.
Appreciate it, bro.
I think that is the biggest problem that we're seeing right now in the world. People who think that they need to be different to who they truly are, and like kind of succumbing to pressures from others.
Yeah.
So
I'm guilty of that too, brother. I'm guilty of that. I've done that loads of times.
Yeah. That is something that I guess is easier said than done.
Yeah.
But for somebody like yourself who is doing better than you were before, what's the best piece of advice you could give somebody that would want to be themselves?
First thing I'll probably tell them is accept where you are now, because if you don't accept where you are now, you won't know where to take the step. Accept where you are now. Find someone who's gone through the same situation or very similar. Emulate their habits. Emulate their mind, how they think, everything they do, and push yourself daily. Relish the small wins, and then you will live your life as a champion.
That's amazing, bro.
That's that, bro. Yeah.
I feel like that's a mic drop moment. I need to kind of finish the live on that because
put that mic right there.
That's amazing stuff. And I just want to say to everyone that's been jumping on, because we've had quite a few people going on and off, but people watching throughout. Thank you so much for watching. And if y'all can give a big thanks to Yousef for coming out as well, spending this time with us today. We really appreciate you jumping out. You've given some amazing value.
Thanks for having me on, bro. It's been brilliant. I need to do this more often. I love going live. I just haven't literally not been doing it at all, so I need to do it more. So appreciate it. Thanks so much, bro.
I know it's one of the most fun things about like actually what we get to do, but we don't do it as much. But I think with this first experience, I'll be doing it more often. You'll be doing it more often.
100%.
You did a great job.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Some gems that you're dropping there. So thank you so much for jumping on. And
appreciate it. Thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and with the speaking career, I know that yours is going to go so well.
I appreciate it, buddy.
One of the most ambitious guys I know, and it's
right back at you, mate. I've seen the person you've gone through. It's insane.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And it's the exact same with yourself. If anyone's watching now and you want to see more of Yousef's content, or you want to get in touch with him because you want to work with him either as a mentor, as a guide, as a coach, like Yousef, how do people get in touch with you, and what's the best form of like getting in touch? Is it through Instagram, or do you have anything to give them? What's the best thing?
Definitely through Instagram. It's the Yousef Khan. Just drop us a DM. I'm more than happy to help anyone out, whoever they are.
Amazing stuff. So you heard that there. If you want to visit Yousef or give him a little bit of a message to get introduced to him, just go to his Instagram and he'll be in your DMs and he'll respond to you there.
100%.
And I'm sure that he'll drop some gems on you too, just like he has on us.
Yeah, definitely, bro. That's what I like, mate.
Awesome stuff. So I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much again, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and all the best to you.
You too, mate. Let's do it. See you in a bit.
Take care, brother.
You too, bro.